Hi, this is Sandra, and today we're diving into something that might just change how you see your body and your mind. It is called the gut-brain axis. It turns out that when there is fire in the gut, there is fire in the brain. It's a powerful expression invented by Dr. John Cryan and his team in 2012. This means that inflammation in the gut can lead directly to inflammation in the brain. But here's the good news. When you care for your gut, you're not just improving digestion, you're nurturing your mood, your mental clarity, your energy, and even your emotional resilience. Your gut is not just about food, it's about feeling whole, and I would love you to feel that. The gut-brain axis is a two-way communication system linking the gut and the brain through neural, hormonal, and immunological pathways. It's how your digestive system and your brain constantly talk to each other. Your gut is home to trillions of microorganisms, which are bacteria, fungi, viruses, collectively known as the gut microbiota. These microbes play essential roles in digestion, immune defense, and most importantly, in signaling to the brain. The gut even produces about 90% of body's serotonin, a key mood-regulating neurotransmitter. No wonder scientists now refer to the gut as the second brain. And that brings us to the nerve that carries most of those messages, the incredible vagus nerve. The vagus nerve is the 10th cranial nerve and one of the most critical components of the gut-brain axis. It's the longest nerve in the body, running from the brainstem down through the neck, chest, and abdomen, touching almost every vital organ, including the heart, the lungs, and the gut. But here's what's mind-blowing. 80 to 90% of its fibers carry messages from the gut to the brain, and not the other way around. That means your brain is listening to your gut far more than your gut is listening to your brain. So what about the other 10 to 20%? These are called efferent fibers. They send signals from the brain to the gut and other organs. These signals are crucial. They stimulate digestion by triggering stomach acid, enzymes, and bile. They regulate peristaltis, which is the gut motility, slow down the heart rate and support heart rhythm, activate the parasympathetic nervous system, which is the rest and digest mode, suppress excessive inflammation via the cholinergic anti-inflammatory pathway, and support breathing patterns and mucus regulation in the lungs. In short, even the smaller percentage of brain-to-body signals through the vagus nerve play a major role in digestion, relaxation, immune control, and more. When the gut is balanced, the vagus nerve carries calming, anti-inflammatory messages to the brain. But when there's dysbiosis or inflammation in the gut, it starts firing danger signals upward. This is how gut imbalances can affect mental health, contributing to anxiety, depression, brain fog, and even neurodegenerative diseases. So what kind of messages do gut microbes actually send to the brain? Let's explore that next. Gut microbes do more than just digest food. They manufacture the precursors of neurotransmitters like serotonin, dopamine, GABA, and a balanced microbiota means your body has what it needs to support mental and emotional health. One microbe that's gaining attention is Lactobacillus reuteri. This incredible probiotic has been shown to boost oxytocin, which is the hormone of love, bonding, and trust, reduce cortisol levels, which is the well-known stress hormone, and calm the nervous system via the vagus nerve. In animal studies, L. reuteri increased social behaviors, reduced stress responses, and even improved wound healing. If you're curious to learn more about Lactobacillus reuteri, I have a full podcast on that topic. Check the link in the description below. But while microbes can lift us up, chronic stress can pull everything down. And it's the hidden saboteur of gut health, chronic low-grade stress. Stress doesn't just live in your head. It directly impacts your gut by suppressing digestion and gut motility. So basically, you have a hard time digesting and you're constipated. Weakening beneficial bacteria, making room for pathogens. Increasing gut permeability, as known as the leaky gut. Decreasing vagus nerve activity, which reduces anti-inflammatory signals. This creates a gut-brain stress loop. Stress inflames the gut, and that leads to an inflamed gut that affects the brain, that leads to the brain, increases the stress, and so forth. You end up trapped in a cycle where both your gut and your mood suffer. This is why managing stress is essential for healing the gut-brain axis. Also, try to limit your exposures to EMFs, electromagnetic fields, from phones, Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, and cell towers. EMFs disrupt the nervous system signaling and increase oxidative stress, which worsens both gut and brain inflammation. And when this stress and inflammation reach the brain, things can get serious. Unlike the rest of the body, where inflammation is tightly regulated and eventually switched off by hormones like cortisol, the brain doesn't have the same off switch. Once neuroinflammation starts, it can stay active for much longer, setting off cascades that damage neurons and brain tissue over time. And why? It's because it's supposed to be protected by the blood-brain barrier, which is the gatekeeper that normally lets in only what the brain needs. But when this barrier is compromised, inflammation can enter and spiral out of control. This persistent inflammation has been linked to issues like brain fog, memory loss, depression and anxiety, Alzheimer's and Parkinson's disease. But the good news is there are tools that help regulate this process. Two natural compounds stand out. Resveratrol, found in the red grapes in the skin, and curcumin from turmeric. And both are rare nutrients that can cross the blood-brain barrier and act directly in the brain. They lower inflammation, they protect neurons from oxidative stress, and they help rebalance brain chemistry. These are not magical pills, but they are powerful allies in preventing and even reversing damage when combined with other healthy practices. And now let's talk about how to strengthen this axis every day with practical tools. First, manage and reduce stress. Stress reduction is not optional. Chronic stress disrupts every part of the gut-brain system. What helps? Deep breathing, yoga, humming, singing, even gargling, and cold exposure stimulate the vagus nerve. Regulate sleep, mindfulness, getting regular massages, walk barefoot in nature, help reset your nervous system. Of course, reducing EMF exposure supports calmer nerve signaling and gut balance. Those are not luxuries. They are essential rituals for mental and gut resilience. Second, feed your good bacteria. Prebiotics are fibers and compounds that feed beneficial microbes and help restore microbial diversity. You'll find them in a variety of whole plant foods. For example, soluble fibers like inulin and pectin, and they are gel-like substance in the gut that helps beneficial bacteria regulate blood sugar and reduce inflammation. You have the resistant starches, like in sourdough bread. and they escape the digestion in the small intestine and become food for beneficial gut bacteria in the colon. It increases the production of butyrate, a short-chain fatty acids that helps lower gut inflammation and support gut lining. And also we have polyphenols, like in berries, cacao, olive oil, green tea, resveratrol is one of them. And they nourish beneficial microbes, reduce oxidative stress, help reinforce both the gut barrier and the brain barrier. The key is variety. Aim to eat the rainbow and include fiber-rich foods daily. Third, add fermented foods and probiotics. Fermented foods contain live beneficial bacteria that support a healthy microbiota. They introduce new strains of microbes into your gut. They create bioactive compounds that lower inflammation. They support neurotransmitter balance like GABA and serotonin, improve digestion and nutrient absorption. Daily serving of fermented foods, not pasteurized of course, like kefir, yogurt, sauerkraut, kimchi, miso, can significantly shift your microbiota toward balance. Targeted probiotics like Lactobacillus reuteri or another one which is a beneficial yeast as Saccharomyces boulardii may help rebalance the gut, especially after dysbiosis and antibiotic use. Fourth, intermittent fasting. Fasting gives your gut time to rest and reset. Intermittent fasting, such as 14 to 16 hours without food overnight, has been shown to support microbial diversity, reduce gut inflammation, improve vagus nerve tone, encourage autophagy, which is a natural detox and repair process. Even occasional fasting, like 1 day, 2 days, or more, can help restore the balance between beneficial and harmful microbes, particularly after stress or general poor diet. Fifth, remove gut offenders. Avoid ultra-processed foods, fried foods, things like that, artificial sweeteners, alcohol and excess caffeine, and use of antibiotics. All of these can disrupt your microbiome and weaken the gut lining. So remember, if there's fire in the gut, there's fire in the brain. But you can cool the fire. Support your gut, honor your nervous system, feed your microbiome, and show yourself the kind of care that creates lasting wellness from the inside out. If this episode resonated with you, please like, subscribe, and share it with someone who needs it. And let me know in the comments how your gut and brain are connected. Stay curious, stay connected, and see you in the next episode. And here's something I created with love to help you begin, my free gluten-free sourdough guide, which explains the nutritional value of sourdough bread and how to make your own gluten-free starter. Did you know that sourdough fermentation can naturally foster reuteri and generate postbiotics that support brain health? And also contains resistant starches. You'll find the free guide linked below, and if you want to bake it yourself, I also offer a gluten-free sourdough kit. You can make yourself your own gluten-free sourdough bread, which is super nutritious, super delicious. This was Sandra, PhD in nutrition and French pastry chef, from Paris to Arizona.